we have not decided yet on the sides.
I mean, I'm already seeing bans on the player's side. I'm expecting to see it, and here we go. Yup, they're swapping sides. FIMP are going to be first pick, Blacklist International on second.
I love right now the FIMP finally banned out onto the Frederick, but remember, back to the question. Banning the Frederick is going to really change Blacklist International's games. That means the FIMP, whatever that they have did in Game 1 and Game 2, can't exactly be applied, and you can't exactly really work on changing your gameplay in order to cater to that Frederick.
Well, I suppose, but I'm just glad that we might have an opportunity to be blessed with King Wise going on a Lancelot potentially. He's been playing Frederick for so very long. Just give it to him. Or if he wants to give the people a special treat, take the lead as well, right? I mean, they've already shown the fact that Navaria has been locked in. You want to be able to take it out. But first, Blacklist International prioritizing making sure that both Minotaur as well as Valentina are picked up, knowing that the Diggy is banned out, that AoE stun is, AoE knockup and slow is not really going to get punished just yet.
You can see that the priority on the Novaria means that you want to get for a kind of poke kind of composition. Novaria is great at poking. But then again, Blacklist International, with this sustain coming out from the Minotaur, they don't care at all. They can just really top up when it comes to their health with this Minotaur. And of course, the Valentina, the UA has been playing so well this game. FIMP, what do they actually take here? The Joy, perhaps?
This is my question, right? Because, like you said, poke versus the sustainability of the side of Blacklist International, I never really liked it. I thought that they needed something more bursty in this case. Right now, FIMP have decided to pick up a Bane as well as an Arlet. I want to see them being able to drag team fights a little bit, while their backliners, their win condition, still able to constantly shred things out. I'm looking at the fact that Blacklist International will probably pick a Barat into the jungle. And I would want to see a carry on the side of FIMP. Really just shred down the front lines, eventually to make it through to the back.
That's assuming that they get access to it. Let's see what this final pick coming in for Blacklist International is going to be on their face, because the fact that they locked in that Bane and also picked the Arlet, I was already thinking Arlet, but the fact that they got Bane, just the research that they have done, especially on Wise, I think it's very well done. Take away combo components, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. The Joy is gonna be picked up by Blacklist International. The term Ube strat made by Blacklist International actually stands for Ultimate Bonding Experience, where all 5 players come together to pressure any area in the Land of Dawn. Maybe for all of our new viewers out there, and especially because we have invited the Western scene here at MSC, you probably have heard Ube being talked about so much. This is actually the inspiration behind it, and it's a delicacy in the Philippines.
It's delicacy, or some may say sweet potato, depending on what particular language in Southeast Asia you're utilizing. But yes, at the end of the day, it's all about being as 5, as a literal complete unit, which is what Blacklist International continue to show high level of polish on it. And we do see the Melissa as well as the Akai. It's clear that FIMP are making sure that they don't want them to disengage from their combo. But that's the thing, right? Does FIMP want to make sure that they double down on the combo components, initiating combo components rather than the payoffs, or disengage?
It seems like they are trying to commit now on to a priority ban for Wise. They're trying to shut him down here. Thing is, though, I think they might be, if they completely tunnel vision on the jungler, Wise is going to bring the Valentina into the jungle role, right? Again, if they tunnel vision too hard, it's going to be very dangerous. So maybe setting up for, even here, it's going to be very tough. The fact that they're on blue side, setting up for your gold lane matchup, if you go for a gold lane ban here, it's going to be really tough for you, because Blacklist will have easy access to just a good gold laner, as they are first pick in the second phase.
Very likely it's going to be a B-Tricks from Blacklist International. They have played it many times, and it's just going to be working time and time again. Hill, I guess we can say the snipe legend right now. It doesn't make sense for Owl to just kind of like take it, or rather just not play it when it's available for him.
I mean, especially since he's got Melter, right? Wow, yes. So FIMP, they are again, both you and Abstract as well as FIMP have done their homework. I mean, Miracle called it. They are targeting Wise. They're making sure that he feels uncomfortable as possible. But we might see those adjustments that we were expecting to see, right? I would like to see. I would very much like to see a Lancelot get picked up at some point of time, or maybe even Assassin from Wise. But that really depends on what the coaches are letting their players gain.
What if this is the time where we see the Garo Catcher that we have been looking for as the jungler for Blacklist International?
Double large AoE CC composition?
I think it's Well, it is something that you can think of, but I think the more reliable pick here, if they actually want to go for a weird jungler, not want to flex the Valentina into the jungle, is just the Guinevere. We've seen it before. Might actually just see it again here for Blacklist International. They need a bit more CC to go and play around that Minotaur for synergy, but okay, Fireflux Impunity taking the Brody away, trying to replicate the same matchup. Black was forced onto them with a Grok as well. Finally, we see the Grok in the knockout stage.
I wonder what the interaction will be with you if you lay down the ultimate of the Novaria with the, of course, with the torn apart memory. Does it actually trigger the vision, right?
Wait.
Maybe that's the case. So
no way they go Aldous, right?
No.
Actually, that's not too bad. At least with Aldous in the way that Wise likes to play in that full tank build, generally can pretty much out-sustain a majority because, again, Arlet's not going to have enough damage. Novaria, unless it's at max rage, is only going to hurt. Bane, even then, most of the time he's only coming afterwards.
Wait, Valentina jungle. Valentina jungle.
Okay. Which, by the way, is very scary because in a big team fight around the objectives, what you do now is to copy the Bane ultimate. They are going to be A-OK. Right? As the Valentina, you have so much damage with the deadly catch together with your combo. You just take out the neutral objectives. You know, this is an important match for sure for Fireflux Impunity. They are now facing elimination. They deployed Lunar. It's gonna be playing the Novaria this time. Is this gonna be enough?
I don't know. I think this is going to be a tough one. There are going to be some clear holes here for Blacklist International, but these are very small holes, and this early phase is going to be extremely important for FIMP.
And technically speaking, this is a completely new, or rather different kind of game plan that FIMP has faced before. So how exactly is going to be, how are they going to be expecting to play into this game here in the Land of Dawn, potentially the last game. Game number 3 between Blacklist International and FIMP.
Into the Land of Dawn we go, and yes, match points. This could just be the end for Fireflux Impunity's tournament lives. Again, reminding everyone back at home, single elimination bracket, no second chance. As Brody Limited and Viking up in the XP lane, Venus, Yua, and Edward, early rotation to get you at level 2 to maybe force an invade, but Kura is able to clear out the waves fast enough, and Apex 47 deals with the mid wave quite well too.
Down by the bomb site, at the very least, Apex is making sure that he's utilizing that Guardian's barrier to kind of slow down the waves and help them kind of get a comfortable laning phase, quickly get that level 2 as early as possible with minimal interactions whatsoever. Now, coming over to the Lethal Wanderer, I don't think this is going to be the biggest deal in the world, but my big issue is the fact that Yue is back on this Eve, and he's quite the powerhouse on it too.
Now, Blacklist International's early game composition has got a lot of magical damage that we can expect. Both Yue, Edward, as well as Wise, they all dish out really good magical damage. As such, FIMP is very likely going to target more onto magical defense. This is where Owl might actually be able to come online a little bit earlier because FIMP put the itemization and put a lot of priority into magical defense while their physical defense is pretty much neglected.
I mean, we say that, but even now, as we look at the lanes, I'm seeing that Sunshine current level 2 compared to Owl already at level 3. It's about that control, right? Sunshine needs to win out this lane, and he needs to win it hard. And this is not even from outside influence. The 1v1 is extremely important, and this, we need to make sure, right? We are already seeing the first items come on through. We steal the pants coming in from that Brody, and from the Beatrix, it's going to be that Fury Hammer. So naturally, we are expecting Owl to make sure that he continues to dominate and control this wave as long as he possibly can.
The 1v1 fight will stay for quite a bit of time. Blacklist International is already positioning themselves, preparing for this turtle fight. However, one thing that they do not know is that Kura is just right around the corner, in which...
Final slash, deadly catch, everything thrown at Blacklist International. Wise is going to fall there, and it's going to be Kura who picks up the turtle. Now they're going to look for some more invades as Venus walks up. Has a bit of fury now, locking him down in the real world manipulation as Edward comes through as well. It's a combo, and it's a deadly one as Yue picks up a double kill to respond to that play over.
That's so good. I mean, people tend to forget, yes, the first initial knock-up coming in from the Minotaur feels bad, but then you follow it up with Minnow and Fury, and then you go for another knock-up once again. You are just locked down for at least 4 seconds straight. It is not a fun time at all, but finally, at least for FIMP, they're recognizing that they have to play towards their win conditions, right? They got it.
Final splash. Those are some resets right now with Vengeance, but Avian loses all of his mana. Is forced to back away as Wise clears out his purple buff. One level lead still without the turtle. He's still holding on to it as that's a good Astral Sphere shot at Yue.
I thought initially, when they were trying to go for the initiation onto the turtle, it started out great. They managed to steal the turtle, number one. They managed to get a kill down onto Blacklist International as well. However, FIMP kind of seems as though they've got their full sense of security, whereby they are a number ahead. They should be able to continue a fight onto Blacklist International, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be that way, because Blacklist International just didn't use that much ultimate after all. And once they had got the Minoan's Rage out, they pretty much got it pretty nicely.
I mean, the way that they're rotating across the map, they're just making sure that Owl is going to be pressured on the bottom side, right? Again, these neutral objectives generally aren't going to be touched. And Kura, the fact that he's so far away, let's double check on his levels in comparison to Wise. He's currently 6 to 6. Okay, so that's totally fine, right? Even levels. Again, a volatile matchup here that really depends on how much farm that you're going to get from that mid lane. So as long as FIMP, and especially if Oh My Venus is going to control this lane, Apex 47 has a lot of work on his hands in terms of not only clearing the waves, but opening up the map.
The goal lane is relatively even. The only good thing about the fact that the only good thing goes over to FIMP, whereby they manage to get a little bit of the energy turret. But the second turtle is not going to go anywhere close to the gold laners. Blacklist International will still want to get themselves the priority up onto the turtle, while FIMP positions themselves, readies themselves for the grand opportunity to allow Kira to jump in.
Alien with a final slash, real room and Blake comes down. Edward's going to be able to find the turtle, but in the midst of it all, it's still going to be a good fight right now for Firefox Impunity, getting Yue down, but Alien now with a vengeance. Now, so many resets onto the back. They keep that lead. Lunar unable to connect on that Astral Sphere.
And again, it's Firefox Impunity just equalizing on board.
They get a kill. They don't get the turtle, but that's totally fine, right? The turtle is just a side objective compared to what they really want to focus on, and that is going to be Kura power farming as hard as he possibly can. And Apex, on the other hand, he needs to get some defensive items, but he's a roamer, right? Top side. Look at Alien go. First turret about to fall.
Is it?
Engaged on right now. Edward jumping in forward. Deadly catch. Was thrown out to disengage, and Fireflux Impunity, they will just respect this. They will go for turrets, a siege.
They actually focus more onto the EXP lane rather than the gold lane, huh? I thought that most of the time they would want to unlock the Brody a little bit earlier and try to keep the Beatrix in the lane, or perhaps put him in uncharted territory, trying to overextend just to farm out the waves a little bit longer.
I mean, I would agree with that point, but it's all about finding the holes, and I think at least
The
for
holes were
FIMP,
top.
yeah, the holes were on that top side,
Right.
and FIMP for the very first time actually having a gold lead on their side, it looks good, right? At least things are changing up here in game number 3, especially the match point against Blacklist International. Now, we're not seeing the lane swap happen just yet, right? They're making sure that they get an early push on that top side at the very least, and then start rotating for this potential 4v5 in about 30 seconds or so.
Venus again with a Venus Fury. Venus Rage popped in, and that's going to be the combo right there with a real Revelation locking him in place as well. Kira with a deadly catch, trying to disengage. One more shot will do it. Wise moving forward, but Sunshine finds a throw memory, and Lunar snipes Wise from downtown. A 2 for 2. Jungler for Rome, and Rome for mid.
Not bad, not bad. FIMP really turning up the heat against Blacklist International.
Oh, the Filipino sniper to the new one. Finds 2 basic attacks. Yue just cleans him up.
I think he definitely wasn't expecting to see Yue hiding in that bush over there. By the time he responded, it was already too late.
He finally misses.
Yeah.
Finally. The second time, or rather the third time, I believe Blacklist International will be able to get a little bit of that, the priority on the turtle. They're constantly trying to engage, or rather just keep themselves sticking onto the turtle, dance around a little bit, stay themselves in the 50 line. They do not want to have FIMP to cross this region anymore, especially since FIMP would want to get information as much as possible.
Oh, Alien with the final splash onto the back right now. Just disrupting the formation with a real word of inflation. Locks them in place. Yue still able to kite away right now. Deadly catches does the damage. Now Sunshine is here for a cleanup, but he's not able to find the range on the rest of the members from Blacklist International. That does, however, give Fireflux Impunity more room, unless Edward steals it away.
Retribution just to play it safe from Kura.
Oh my goodness. Can we talk about the fact that if Yue didn't have an Ice Queen's wand, that would have been detrimental. Like, I think that FIMP would have walked Blacklist all the way down to their tier 2s and taken away their purple buff at the same time. Kura is a lot stronger than what people imagine.
Oh, Vengeance popped in. Sunshine will just disappear. Burst it down.
absolutely devastating from the side of FIMP. They managed to get 2 turtles and 2 turrets so far. They're on an 800 goal lead, even though they're just pretty much losing in terms of kills, which is not necessarily that important. The turrets is what we are looking out for. Blacklist International now finds a hole up in the northern side. They get the turret down.
That's the wild charge, the lockdown as well from Alien. That should be a free kill. Venus might just be next, but oh, brilliant wall to lock Venus down right now as Alien goes in for the stash once again with the final slash, is able to lock him down. Now Wise with the final slash by himself as well, saving the queen, but not for long. It's still just going to be a 1-for-1. Roamer traded in. Meanwhile, always, now with this comp, Firefox and Unity are always looking to punish.
Yep. One of the funny interactions that, again, it may not necessarily be important at certain times, but the fact is, with Lunar's ult, the Astral Echoes makes your hitbox slightly bigger. There is collision in this game, so when you do have the Nature's Barrier, there are times where you might misjudge the actual size of your hero, meaning that you might be spazzing out in between spaces at certain moments. And, I mean, I don't know how big of a deal it's going to be later on into the game, but it's just a fun little tidbit.
I think this is probably the first time FIMP has managed to get quite a bit of edge onto Blacklist International. Albeit it's only 1,000 gold, but the control of the map is heavily tilted towards in the favor of FIMP. Blacklist International would want to find more ways to open things up. They will want to allow the Owl to continue to go on the farm. FIMP probably just want to hold the waves up a little bit more towards the 50 line and wait for the perfect chance to take the Lord.
I mean, considering how these team fights have been going, right? I think, Alien has been doing a phenomenal job, not only buying time, but disrupting the backline at crucial moments, in a matter of fact, allowing the rest of the FIMP members to kind of walk in and set it up, right? 3 full seconds is all they need, and 3 full seconds could be the difference maker between winning a fight and losing a fight against Blacklist International around neutral objectives.
Dynamization here from Blacklist International is very, very intelligent. They understand that Firefox and Unity, they just have the better comp when it comes down to an all-in. So they are actually building Wise, especially here, for Glowing One. So he's going for these prolonged team fights instead of just the burst that we naturally usually look at for Valentina.
They want to hurt them, right? They want to go in and out of these fights, but at the end of the day, they still are a little ult dependent. Oh my Venus. Again, once that ult is down, the rest of FIMP are coming in hot. Almost catching them off, making sure that they play in the space. Again, this Lord dance, very, very versatile for Blacklist International, but FIMP, I think this is where they back off completely.
That's dangerous. No wild charge.
This kind of seems as though Blacklist International doesn't really have a lot of beefy front line, right? They do have a lot of damage onto their arsenal, albeit most of that is magical damage. Oh my Venus is the only one that can pretty much open up the map.
Vengeance popped in. Sunshine should be dead. No wild charge to peel, to cover. Now Edward's trying to run away, getting the healing as well as Venus just body blocks all the way in the front. That's a free gold lane pickoff for Blacklist International as they look towards the Lord. Now only 11 minutes, so it's still going to be the first Lord of the game. No enhanced. Deadly catch now by Kura. It's going to be responded over. 6 sharks in the building. But it's range and the mirror's bastion. Kura's going to be bursted down. Meanwhile, the back right now, Alien tries to go for the steal, but Wise just absolutely belts Apex down like it's nothing. Alien's trying to run away. The Lord was secured as well by Blacklist International. Venus flickers forward, finding the stun. US slows him down, and final slash comes through as well. Alien's still able to sustain for now. That's the stun from downtown. Owl finds it. Venus soaks in the Astral Sphere like it's nothing, and Blacklist reclaim the gold lead.
I remember you were talking about not having a beefy front line. They literally have a cow right in front of them each and every time, taking the shots. It is great to see that Oh My Venus is not just, you know what, we have to play the fundamentals when we can push an advantage. Even the Queen is willing to flicker forward without her ultimate.
It's a very different experience, right? Looking at the fact that Oh My Venus is the front line and the only technically the front beefy line. And we have seen other teams try to pull it off, but it just seems like they don't have enough defenses. They can't push out far enough. And this seems like this is absolutely the true Blacklist experience, where you just need a single front line of Oh My Venus to really gather yourself and to reclaim the lands that you have lost.
I mean, they're reclaiming everything. They're taking every single buff, every single camp, all the outer turrets pretty much at the same time and focusing on top of this lowest mid.
How are they going to defend this right now? Well, it's only the first one, so with the Deadly Catch, there's going to be another Deadly Catch response from Wise. Good shot on Fuel with Astral Spear. Final Flash comes down, but it's only on the 2 members, and Dominion Fury comes down as well. That's only Alien knocked up, though. Now Sunshine still free, hitting with a Tornapar Memory. Used for poke. Another Astral Spear gets thrown out. But Blacklist International, their sustain is honestly there for them to just be comfortable.
I mean, this is going to be... they just managed to get the first Lord, and trying to clear all of the outer turrets is going to be their main part of the game. They did manage to bring the inhibitor turret low. Hold on.
Alien might just be bursted down. Oh, he goes for
what?
And he's going to be slain. Meanwhile, wild charge, flicker combo from Apex 47, but no one's there to follow it up. Apex might just fall right now from the burst. Coming down. Edwards dashing forward. Apex still able to survive. Blacklist International choose to back away. They will take the dub with the alien pickoff.
I could feel it. I could feel the leash being pulled around Edward. It's like, no, Edward. I know you got the electrified beats. You got to sit back, relax, and take it slow. Notice that he already has plenty of items on his side. He's been farming mighty fine.
They time it so well to find that. Cura, his orange buff is stolen away, now slowed down by Yue, and Edward comes through with some damage. Blacklist International, one-man advantage. They can use this, or they can choose to just play the discipline route. 20 seconds for the Lord. Why risk it?
I mean, there is still the second-tier defense turret at the bottom lane, right? Eventually, if they do get the second Lord, they can just push it all down in one fell swoop. The top lane inhibitor turret has gone down, so we pretty much know the Lord will pillage us up top. Then they will take the middle lane and the bottom lane in tandem. That way, FIMP would have not a lot of answers to work with. Blacklist International just need to take things a little bit slowly. They do have the Minotaur to keep up with the sustainability. So Blacklist International, it is all about discipline and just holding themselves back.
I don't know. It's looking really, really bleak for FIMP. What used to be a lead now is turned into a 5.3k gold lead for Blacklist International. And I mean, they can hold them hostage, literally.
Apex 47 forced to use the wild charge, but it does not matter. Wise just tears them apart as Alien now will take a huge chunk of damage on his health bar. Free Lord conceded. Blacklist International all across the board.
I'm telling you, this is how you hold people hostage. You sit around these neutral objectives. Ooh, come, please, try and steal this away from me. Try to initiate. Oh no, I'm looking so tantalizing right now. And that's when you punish them, cutting them down one by one, making sure that you take away their toes and their fingers before they even get remotely close. And now, as they walk up into the base, they're down a man. But at the end of the day, once they start losing these inhibitor turrets, there's nothing that FIMP can realistically do to clear these waves effectively.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me! That's Blacklist International's way to play the game right now with the Lord Dance. And yes, it is true. That's exactly what they've been able to do. And Firefox Impunity, they've just been caught again and again through the same thing. And again, it's Owl threading the needle through Alien Lunar, this time finding Sunshine in the back.
The Lord is eventually going to make his way in, and Blacklist International is pretty much trying to defend this as much as possible while trying to get the middle lane pushing in at the same time. Apex 47 managed to slow things down by a tad little bit, but Blacklist International, they are not really jumping right in anytime.
Blacklist sieging the base down. So simply, so calm, so stone cold, it doesn't even feel like they're in any danger. Firefox Impunity, right now, while Blacklist were calling an ambulance, I think now they're calling their plane.
Yep, I mean, this is where it gets really brutal, right? And I think even for FIMP, they have to play very... Oh, no, Cura, he's in a lot of trouble now.
Oh, that's a snipe from Owl. That's another also Astro Spear locking Owl down, but he is able to just sustain back up. He's going to be able to steal, life steal away. Oh, that's another Alien. Gets picked off. Just like that, 2 members fall. You don't even see it. You blink and you miss it.
That's why patience is a virtue.
Game of capitalizing mistakes. That's what Blacklist International is looking out for. Play slow, play quick, because they know FIMP, they will make a mistake for Blacklist International to push right on in.
Cannon minion gonna be cleared out, but there's another wave coming down to the mid lane. How do they clear this one? Apex 47 first it down! Also wild charge, Sunshine tries to make a play, but the base will be gunned down. A Minion Fury onto the back. Blacklist International, untouchable, unstoppable.